Hi everyone, I'm Shawnee, and today I'm going to be talking about controlled vocabularies and why they're helpful and why I think they'll really help me in searching in the future. So, generally, controlled vocabularies aim to capture the aboutness of the item or document that is being cataloged. There are a few ways in which controlled vocabularies function. Subject-specific controlled vocabularies are usually created by authoritative associations in the field or actual indexing companies that aim to follow international thesaurus construction standards. General controlled vocabularies are designed to be less specific and will tend to cover a wider array of subjects. In this way, more general or universal terms will be used rather than subject-specific or preferred terms. Computer back-generated controlled vocabularies are indexed by computers, but they aren't necessarily as precise as human-applied vocabularies. There have also been a couple of models of controlled vocabularies. We once used a subject heading model where vocabularies captured the aboutness of an item by putting more than one semantic notion on the same line, as you can see in the example, which came from the Library of Congress subject headings, and one could browse if looking for treatments and rehabilitation for tuberculosis. This made it easy for pre-computer card catalogs to be organized. In the digital age, though, we've gone to a subject descriptor model instead, where there is one semantic notion on each line in a concept. This example came from the medical subject headings, and while it may look like a couple of extra steps where searchers would have to make sure to add both multi-drug resistant tuberculosis and anti-tubercular agents, it's more honed. And I personally find it does a better job at retrieving more specific information needs now that we have computers. Working with Dialog this semester made it relatively easy for us to access a thesaurus if a database hosted by Dialog had one. Mostly where I find Thesauri really shine is in subject-specific databases like psychology, medical, and educational databases, among others. That way, searchers can determine that what words these databases are using to categorize subjects in search terms. For example, I never would have known that Medline, which uses the mesh controlled vocabulary or medical subject headings, prefers the term neoplasms to cancer. I didn't even know that neoplasms was a word until browsing through their thesaurus. Best practice for using controlled vocabularies, though, is to make sure to search them as subjects, not just as keywords. A couple of features that you can use as well to even further hone your search include the explode feature and also the major subject searching feature. The explode feature in Thesauri can be taken advantage of where possible to search for narrower terms within a subject simultaneously as your original subject. You could also take advantage of the major subject search, where in Dialog you click on the major box next to your subject term, and that way you are able to retrieve only items where your subject is a major focus. I know that not all databases utilize Thesauri, but for those that do, they've been immensely helpful for me this semester, because quite frankly, I found that it's much easier to retrieve items if you know what the database is categorizing them as. You'll recall my neoplasms and cancer example that I just mentioned. I also find that this way, if there's a hyper-specific information need, it can make the database and searching process seem far less overwhelming, especially if one doesn't have prior knowledge regarding this subject. Using the preferred database terms also results in fewer failed searches and less discouragement. I know that I can't and I won't pretend to know everything completely, and that's where Thesauri come in. I absolutely intend on using them more in the future to help refine my searching. Thank you for listening and have a great day.